Jim Crane did not do a good job today. Not at all. He had weeks to prepare for this, and yet he still tripped all over himself when he said things like this.
Our opinion is, that this didn't impact the game. We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that.
Really? Respectfully, Jim, that's bullcrap. It's horse mess. Yeah, I get that you don't want to give back the 2017 World Series, but saying that the scheme did not impact the game is ridiculous. If it didn't matter and it didn't help, why the hell were you doing it? Let me help you with that. Because it did matter and it did help. Reminds me of all that bull crap that came out during the roid era. Bull crap like you can't just pull a guy off the streets, shoot him full of bull roids, and think that he can hit Major League pitching. That to me was always the worst argument ever because nobody ever said that. Roids obviously helped, or guys would not have been geeked out of their minds on roids. Just like cheating by stealing signs actually helps. If it didn't impact the game, guys would not be doing it. Guys don't bang on trash cans if it doesn't help them hit baseballs. There is no point. Guys aren't turning the dugout into a performance of stomp just for the hell of it. And then what was the deal with this exchange with Marley Rivera?
Jim, sign stealing is a distinct advantage for the hitter. So how is it that it doesn't affect competition? So then what are you guys apologizing for?
We're apologizing because we broke the rules.
But isn't sign stealing a distinct advantage for the hitter, so doesn't it automatically impact competition?
It could possibly do that. It could possibly not.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up. Thank you, Dustin.
So when did Jim Tomsula bite the Astros?
I would not say that. I wouldn't say it either. I would not say that.
The guy literally went Tomsula. Hey, Jim, don't you hate it when a reporter does their job and asks you a good question and you have a really bad answer? That made no sense. That made no sense. You got caught. Apologize for it. Own it. It's not a hell of a lot to ask. But to sit there and apologize for something, but say that something didn't really matter is not an apology. You had all this time to prepare for this press conference, and that's what you came up with. Hey, Jim, you're not going to get beyond this until you own this, and even then, plenty are still going to think that you cheated. But don't take my word for it. Just ask the Cheatriots.
We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that.
That's incredible. Oh, we'll leave it at that. Oh, okay, Jim. If you say so. We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that. It's got to be one of the worst responses ever. All this time to come up with something. Ownership, accountability, to get ready for a presser, and that's what you come up with. The owner of the franchise. We had a good team. We won the World Series. I think I'll leave it at that. Oh, okay.
This didn't impact the game?
Yeah, not at all. Dear Rome, I did not say that it did not impact the game. Also, Jim Rome should be in jail. He has no experience in the radio category. The day of reckoning will come. Signed, Jim Crane. Drew in West LA, where Irate Craig using Ford Fiestas as his weekend rig. On Twitter, quickly, Chip in H-Town tweets, I'm an Astros fan, and that was not an acceptable apology. Jeff Long tweets, Jim Crane is clearly taking PR advice from Papa John. Honestly, I cannot believe how badly that guy came off. I literally cannot believe how badly he came off. Hey, Jim, our opinion is it didn't impact the game. We had a good team, we won, and we'll leave it at that. Fair and squarely yours, the Harlem Globetrotters being allowed to climb atop the backboard to receive a pass, pull down the shorts of an opposing player mid-shot, and attempt 9,000 half-court hook shots until finally sinking one for a 40-point basket. Signed, Cheatlesks, bribing Rit with hard candy and cocoa to text me the opening segment topic prior to the show. Crane could not be looking any worse, could not have come off any worse, and could not have handled that any worse. All that time to get ready for a press conference that you knew the entire world was waiting on and was going to watch. And that's what you had to say. It didn't help us. I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm not going to be held accountable. And I'll leave it at that too. Hey, Rome, listening to, okay, here's something else. Clones, what's more aggravating to you? That they cheated, that they're not owning it, or that their press conference hijacked all of Reese McGuire's heat? You hate that. You are so mad that that's taking away from that. The second that story dropped last night, you immediately start hitting me up on Twitter. How bent are you that I still haven't mentioned that yet? I'll get to it, don't worry. But I know that's even more infuriating to a lot of you than the Astros cheating or not owning it. Hey, Rome, listening to the Astros apologize was very hard. Their fake response really rubbed me the wrong way. I wish they offered a more touching apology. I guess I won't get myself worked up over it. Signed, Reese. In his car, in a parking lot in Toronto. Hey, John and Ari, you were like an extremely poor man's Denlesks. That was a really poor effort. Yo, Snag. Crane saying that their cheating had no effect on winning the 2017 World Series was so believable. Regards, Darva Conger. P.S. Stop reading my emails. I just want my life back. She was the gold standard. She was the first, maybe. One of one. The very first reality star who just wanted their life back. For some reason, a Darva Conger reset always works for me. Google it. Hey, Jim. The Astros apology was real sincere. Yours truly, those restaurant bathroom signs that say that employees must wash their hands when leaving the restroom. Mike in Lexington, on Wisconsin. Hey, Rome, cheating did not have an impact on the game and had no effect on our records or our victories. Sincerely, Lance Armstrong, Ben Johnson, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, the New England Patriots, and now Jim Crane. It is such a bad take. Didn't really impact us. Didn't help us. Then why did you do it, Jim? Then why was there such an elaborate scheme behind it, Jim? Because it helped. Again, I understand you not wanting to give back that championship, but don't come in here and tell me it didn't help. It helped. Your own guys are saying it helped. You wouldn't do it if it didn't help. Rome, not since Bonds' answer to his tainted record has MLB produced such garbage. Crane, there may not be one in the record books, but to every baseball fan, your World Series victory has an asterisk. That's true to a large extent. And this guy just made it so much worse by showing up the way he did today and saying what he did today. Made it worse. You think that you couldn't make it worse? He made it worse. Much worse. Jim, what a clown show the Astros are. And worst of all, what a clown show MLB is for not doing anything to the players. Rip that trophy from these cheats. Pissed off Gabe and Cypress. They're not doing that. But I can see whereby you'd be upset. If it's a player-driven scandal, how come nothing happened to the players? MLB said it. It was a player-driven scandal, yet they're not being punished. Why not? Hank Aaron said they should be banned for life. Hey, Jim. Cheating had no effect on the outcome of the game. Regards, being the banker in Monopoly. Jake in New York City. And finally, Jim, I will not be held accountable for the deaths of Ron and Nicole. After all, they tried to kill me. Signed, OJ.
Ron and Nicole were physically dead, and it's almost like they killed me.
The problem with that is, whenever one of you idiots send me that, there's an even bigger idiot somewhere online going, yeah, Rome, that's a real funny guy, that Jim Rome. He thinks that OJ jokes are funny. I don't. I never did. I never have. It's all you dopes who send them to me. Hey, Rome, yeah, but aren't you a hypocrite? It is your show, right? It is. I do need to be accountable. I do need to be responsible. It is happening on my show. Unlike Jim Crane, I get that. Now, if I were Jim Crane, I'd just say, hey, Hawk, you're an idiot. Stop bringing me that stuff. And I could put it all on Hawk. But it came out of my mouth, and it is my show. And I've got the name on the marquee. So unlike Crane, I will be accountable. For some of you idiots who still think OJ jokes are funny. When we come back, I might talk about Reese.